What is up, fellow YouTubers? Chilling like an old school rock star villain. I got a package that came in the mail, and it contained this mysterious, strange envelope. Had my address on it. Let's see. Not sure what it is. We're about to find out. It came with a note. Dear Josh, enjoy these cigars and pipe tobacco. I saw a video you did last week and someone sent you some flavored cigars which only coons smoke. Wanted to share some white people tobacco. Enjoy. Mike Provolone. Well, thank you, Mike Provolone, for the tobacco. That's most definitely what's up. Shout out to Mike Provolone. I don't think tobacco is race specific. I just think, sometimes people roll a shitty cigar and it happens, right? Hell yeah. I got this big fat stogie right here. And some fresh pipe tobacco. That's most definitely what's up. Cool, man. The tobacco gods have been smiling down upon me. See, I had no idea what the hell was in the package, because I'm like, what are these people going to send me? What kind of weird shit. But they send me free tobacco, and I'm like, I really can't complain. However, like I mentioned in my last video, if you send me a tobacco and, for whatever reason it just ain't doing the trick, it's going to get a negative review. It's not a matter of what color you are, it's just that cigar that was sent to me was rolled improperly in the factory, or whoever rolled it, whatever rolled it too tight. And I was honest with that review, and some people are taking it as me overreacting, or why you bitching, you got a free cigar, and I'm just like, no, dude, that's not even the point of the video. Yeah. Ooh, this tobacco smells really good. Now I got some pipe tobacco right here, and to keep them separate for now, I'll put this fresh bag of pipe tobacco in with my other bag of pipe tobacco. I got two different kinds, keeping them separate for now until I decide to review that. I'm going to, let's take this motherfucker out, huh? So yes, fans do occasionally send me cigars. Oh yeah. I'm going to throw away two things, well, three things. The plastic around this, and the plastic bag, and the yellow envelope. I squeezed it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, you know how long it's been since I've had a nice, fat cigar. My fans are awesome. Now, the only reason I opened the box prior to videoing it, I don't want my address getting leaked on social media, so I opened the box prior to you know, whatever's in the package. I'll be like, oh, hey, got a package. Check this out. This is what I got, you know. And that way I can see what they sent me before. And that way, if it's a stupid troll package, I can throw it away and not even acknowledge it. See, I'm one step ahead of these trolls. I mean, my fans send me free tobacco to review, so I'll get the old cigar cutter out and give this gnarly gar a whirl and see how it do. Because I did a cigar review at my friend's house. I was hanging out with Sean and Richard, and homeboy Richard got a cigar. Took a couple hits. Sean took a couple hits of the cigar. And Richard's like, yo, that cigar is too much. He's not used to smoking them. He's a cigarette smoker and he's not used to smoking them. You know, it was a bit much for him on the nicotine. So he's like, you want the rest of this cigar? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I was having a drink and I said to myself, let's do a quick cigar review of this. And that acid cigar that I reviewed was quite delicious. I don't think he meant it in a racist sort of way because white people smoke blunts too, you know. A lot of people are leaving comments on my previous videos. Like, oh geez, you can't even smoke a real cigar, I bet, huh? Keep in mind, these people are coming to my channel for the first time and they see cigar review, my newest one, and I get one bad cigar that doesn't want to stay lit, so now they're going to talk shit and poke fun. But then my fans send me another actual stogie that requires a cigar cutter. Oh my god, that just smells so good. I'm going to put the blanket down and crack open both windows so that way the smell of this nasty, gnarly gar doesn't just fog out the bottom basement hallway, you know. I already have the other window open, but the weather's so nice that we can literally open this other window right here as well. Why not? Really get nice airflow going. So I made a wand for one of my friends, and it turned out so good. I tried to do the same thing to one of my other wands that I had in my collection, and the other wand I had ended up snapping, so I replaced it with this one right here, which has an actual quartz crystal in the bottom of it. This is a style of wand I could consider doing for Etsy. Right now, I'm trying out different color combinations. Getting my business set up so that way I can work more at home, so shipping becomes more quick and precise. Sometimes I have to go across town. Pretty much all the time up to this point, I'd have to go across town to get the wands tubed up and then come back across town to get them shipped. And it worked for a little bit. It was a bit cumbersome on time, but I made it work, you know. And now I'm in a position where I can make the shipping for my business go a little bit quicker because I'll be able to have a label printer at home, and I got a new vacuum cleaner, so the sawdust for carving these wands out is nothing but a thing. It's gone. This vacuum works. Looks just like the old one. And, yeah, the label printers and the boxes. So the wands are going to start coming in like boxes or something of that variant. but you're still going to get the same awesome quality that you get from Cobra Craft handmade wands. As far as I'm concerned, my wand business is a success. I got a new vacuum, so this will make cleaning my carpet 10 zillion times easier. Beforehand, I was literally picking up the carpet with a broom and dustpan, which gets the stuff off the surface, but it doesn't clean it deeply. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make the carpet soft and fluffy. So, I'm kind of like, okay, it got me by, but it wasn't enough. So there you go. There's that. I need to grab my trusty cigar cutter. Now, in my last cigar review, I talked about this cutter. So you already know about that. I bought this cigar cutter at the Cigar Rialto before it got turned into the cigar store. Got turned into literally an awesome, badass soda fountain shop. So there you go. It's pretty sweet. I'm a little bit tipsy-ish, but I'm not like stupid drunk, So I do appreciate when my fans send me free tobacco to review. Take a look at that label. That is a fancy looking cigar label. La Capitan. Oh, it's a La Capitana. La Capitana. A La Capitana. Cool beans, man. This is why, cigars are considered more fancy than a cigarette, because you get this, different labels, different flavors, different gauges. Oh, dude, this thing was packaged premium fresh. Got a nice medium color filler on that. Now, how do you cut a cigar? Take a look at before we cut it. You see right there that cone on the end. Right there you see the line that separates the cone from the actual cigar. This right here is your cap line. So if you cut before that ring you see wrapped around right there, I'll zoom in close to that line so you can see it. You can, right there. The cap right there. You can see it between the cap and right there. There's that line right there. You can see it right there. Yeah, that line. You want to cut your cigar cap before it. Not after it, but before it. So with something like this, you just grab your cigar cutter and put the guillotine cutter out here. And again, you want to find that line that separates the cap from the cigar. Okay, I see it. Just give it a quick snip. So now what I did was I cut just the tip of it off, just like that. And the cut's not perfectly straight, but the cap is still attached. I mean, if I wanted to be like super OCD about it, I could just, I could make it straighter, but I'm not worried about it. As long as the cap is still on there. Now the reason why you want to cut the cigar before the cap line, you want to leave half of that cap on. This keeps the cigar intact and gives you draw while you smoke it. Oh, dude. Getting that dry puff on. That's got a complexity of flavors. You get a nice rich tobacco flavor, and then you get like hints of cinnamon. It just has that classic cigar taste. Now the next thing you want to do is light it. So what I like to do is I'll toast the front of this cigar with a Bic. Now to be fair, what smoke I could get from that banana cigar, it tasted good. However, it was just rolled too tight, and that was my only complaint, you know. I gave an honest review on the tobacco that's sent to me, and some people are going to appreciate that. Some people are going to be like, yeah, but how you going to bitch because it's a free da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I'm not bitching, I'm giving an honest review, like I'm doing right now. Now I got the end of it lightly toasted with the Bic. Now you notice that when I was puffing on the cigar, as you're lighting the cigar, you puff on it, and you want to circle the entire front of it with the lighter so that the whole thing catches. Now, a quick blow, a quick and very gentle, like you blow through the cigar where you cut it, just very lightly. That pressure is going to push through and it's going to heat up the end. You do that a couple times, and then it doesn't get too smoky after that. But what you're looking for is a nice even light. Oh yeah, this is a good cigar. Now here's the thing of it. This video was intended for a mature audience, obviously. I'm used to smoking cigars. If you've never smoked a cigar in your life, you gotta take a huge rip of it, inhale it, or puff on it, you're gonna cough your ass off. Every person who tries their first cigar is gonna cough. I did it, guarantee it. I'm not trying to glamorize it, but my fans do send me cool shit. A fan of mine sent me some jerky and some cookies, and two different fans, you know what I'm saying? Just sending me cool shit to make with cooking videos and stuff. So I got ideas for cooking videos brewing in the old head of mine, and we're gonna get a new kick-ass dessert burger, and then we're gonna also get a jerky stuffed crust pizza. And that's going to require taking these cookies that a fan sent me and putting them on a burger. Is it nuts? Is it random? Is it crazy? Is it over the top? Yes. This is why people like watching the unhealthy cooking videos that I make. It's like, is he really going to eat that? This mother... Now, if you take a look right here, the light's not perfectly even. There are some mild spots where it's not perfectly lit, but for the most part, that's lit. I'm not take a little bit of breath. blow on the end of the ash to heat it up just a little bit, and now your cigar is going. You don't have to worry about relighting it. Just occasionally take a puff on it. This is more like savoring a fine wine versus just, yeah. I'm not going to smoke this whole thing in one sitting. That's nuts. Take a couple puffs and put it out for later. I did want to get the first couple of puffs of it on camera because my fans send me free tobacco, and that's, yeah. Oh, that's good. You shouldn't inhale cigars, but I do because it's my cigar, and who gives a shit what the fuck they say. As far as cigars go, this one's not too harsh. Inhaling it down is not too terribly harsh, for me at least. If you're a beginner, this would knock you on your ass. But this would be like a medium-bodied cigar. It's not too harsh and it's not too light. There are some cigars that smell sweet. This definitely does not smell sweet. This is why I'm not going to finish the whole thing in one sitting, obviously, because the cigar does have a bit of stink to it. But I did want to get a couple of puffs on camera, get an official review of this here cigar. La Capitana. The cut's not perfect, but at least the cap is still on. The light's not perfectly even first time going, but it's even enough. This is basically how you smoke a cigar. I mean, you get these cigar snobs who are like, "Oh, you didn't do it right because the cap cut is not perfectly straight, or the ash isn't perfectly lit, or blah blah blah." And I'm like, dude, okay, this right here is the basic rules to enjoying a fine cigar. Stop nitpicking little shit like that, like, "Oh, you're not smoking the right cigar," or da 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 da. Cigar snobbery just pisses me off. That's good. Now, what you're supposed to do with cigars is you're supposed to puff on it and let the smoke gently roll off and out of your mouth so you get a full taste of it. It's not just for the nicotine, it's actually for the taste of it too. I kind of slightly inhaled it on the end. Oh yeah, that's light, but not too light. This is definitely a medium-bodied cigar. Doesn't have any really distinct smell to it. Just smells like a cigar. Taste is complex, to say the least. There are definitely hints of cinnamon in this cigar. Because what'll happen is people age the tobacco and spices like cinnamon and sugar, brown sugar, and then they'll mix it with rum and fruit juices. They'll age it in a barrel, a wooden barrel preferably. And when it's aged for just a couple of years, they'll take it out, shred it up, let it dry. All the flavor that's been soaking into those tobacco leaves. You're going to get this rich aroma of complex flavors, and this is where cigars and pipe tobacco get their distinctive taste and smell. It's from the aging process and what flavors they add to it. But usually when you're smoking a cigar or a pipe, there's less chemicals than cigarettes. That is a proven fact. This is why cigars and pipes are so much harsher. When you smoke a cigar, it's so much harsher than cigarettes. You smoke pipe tobacco, it's so much harsher than cigarettes. That's because there's less chemicals. Cigarettes have all these chemicals in it that make the tobacco taste really smooth and get you super hooked, like boom, like that. Okay, that's for the nicotine delivery. This is why cigars and pipe smoking is seen as a more refined culture versus, yeah. Like all these smart ass motherfuckers who were like, oh, he doesn't know how to smoke a cigar. And I'm just going through comments, chuckling and deleting them. Like, whatever. People are stupid sometimes. Oh, yeah. I could finish this in one sitting, but I'm not going to because this is a rather thick cigar, and I'm going to take my time and enjoy it on a leisurely minute. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't get fancy cigars like this too often, and it's been a while since I've had a good fat stogie. Celebrating the success of my wand business, I got a brand new vacuum, so cleaning my carpet will be so much easier than trying to sweep it up by hand. It took me a while to get a new vacuum cleaner because those things were expensive, and I had no idea what the fuck was wrong with the other one. Now, when I ash this cigar, I simply just very lightly push down on it and go like that. And what happens is that keeps that heat condensed into the cigar. Blow on it again, and there we go. That light on it is not perfect, but it's even enough that it's not going to canoe like crazy. So thank you to sending the tobacco, and I'll let you know what I think of that other pipe tobacco when I smoke it. But in order to make the dessert burger, I'm going to have to make another cooking video separate from the burger. So, potentially a new bread recipe, maybe. Eh, I'll see what I can do. I'm not going to promise anything extraordinary, but, I'll throw something together and see how it turns out, because sometimes that's just the fun of cooking. This here's a big boy cigar, because you actually have to cut it. It's a big old monster, fat, fucking mobster fucking cigar. Like, hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Well, I'm in the process of getting my business set up to where I can do it all from home, including the boxing up. I could take some of the sticks that I've collected and try to come up with new styles of wands that I can sell in my store, you know, and perfect that so that when that time arises, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't tell me a crystal wand like this wouldn't sell on Etsy, because it would. That's a real quartz. And it's a quartz crystal embedded into the handle of a wand. I mean, it's kind of cool. But making crystal wands that tiny is a delicate, delicate process. I can always collect more sticks for the batch, so I'm not tripping out about that. I'll be getting some YouTube money very, very soon. Um, but I'm trying out different color combinations and different styles of handles. And they turn out pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. The last one I had with a similar handle didn't have a crystal in the end of it, and it broke because I was trying to put a crystal in the end of it. So this ended up being that wand's replacement. The thunderstorm that we had here in Casper after I made this wand for my collection was unfucking real. Really pretty, by the way. But yeah, this cigar is pretty tasty if I do say so myself. I'm going to take like a couple more drags of it and then show y'all how to put it out without breaking it so you can save it for later. And you can inhale it or puff on it, it don't matter, man, it's your cigar. But showing you how to cut and light the cigar, those are the basics right there. Then maybe you go to a fancy wedding or a baby shower and someone hands out cigars and then you cut your cap a little too short and it falls apart and you look like a jackass smoking it in front of your colleagues or your associates or whatever you want to call them. Or maybe you're at a successful business meeting and you don't want to look like a fool and a tool and you want to make yourself seem somewhat more sophisticated. Well, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how you cut and light a cigar, because as you can see, even though it's not perfectly even, it's still keeping an even consistency. It's not canoeing. It's not falling apart. And because I still left half the cap on the end, you know, I didn't have my cigar cutter with me the last time I was doing the review, so I ended up having to use my teeth to cut it. Which that's alright, because that actually worked. You know, and let the trolls talk shit, because that's what they're going to do. That's all they do, is talk shit. I got new cooking videos coming up. I'm relocating the other half of my business to my apartment, so it's a bit easier to process orders, which means shipping will be a little bit quicker. Coming up with new ideas for wands to expand upon my product. Hell yeah, that's pretty swinging. Maybe you've had your fill of this cigar. Some people say you're supposed to smoke it all the way through. I disagree. I think that's a personal choice. You can smoke it all the way through or save some for later. You know. Now notice I didn't touch the label on it until it started getting closer to it. Now, as soon as I took a puff on it, it slid back a little ways and then stopped. It ain't moving anymore. That's how it should be. You don't want to move the label on your cigar too much until it gets closer to it. Like the cigar got to about here, I take the label and push it back to the mouthpiece. That's just because you don't want it to fall apart when you're smoking it, you know. Well, thank you for the cigar and the pat tobacco. I greatly appreciate that. Now, to put your cigar out, just tap on the ash very gently, just like that. And just roll it and very lightly hold it in your ashtray and just roll it around in circles, just like that. Don't put any pressure on it. Just very, 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 very lightly tap it out. You don't want to break that paper too much. You want that relight to be just as smooth as the first time you lit it. And then you find a crevice for your ashtray. Because in some areas of our culture, cigar smoking is considered cultured and refined. So I'm going to prop this cigar up against my tobacco pipes and kind of just sit it against the inside of it so that the lit end is facing the inside of the ashtray, just like that. And now that it's successfully put out, just let it sit there, gently let it sit there and put itself out. You don't want the cigar leaf to break. That's pretty much almost half of that cigar, and I'm definitely feeling a nice nicotine buzz. I'm not gonna lie, that's yeah. And for the most part, I keep my ashtrays empty. Like this one's got, like, you know, 2 tiny ass cigarette butts in it. And I don't smoke indoors that often, anyways. But when fans send me tobacco to try, I'm kind of like, oh, hey, hold up. All you need is a good cigar cutter and a good lighter. Then you get these cigar and pipe snobs who are like, well, you're supposed to light it with wooden matches or this and that. And I'm just like, dude, if all you have is a Bic lighter to light your cigar, it's better than nothing. Like I said, you know, cigar, wine, tobacco, just snobbery in general is so fucking unnecessary, YouTube. I don't smoke cigars every day, but those are seen as something to celebrate with. And right now, I've been having a streak of good luck, and it just keeps getting better, and I appreciate it, you know. The tobacco gods are smiling down upon me graciously. And, you know, fans get a kick out of that because, like, they send me tobacco to review with a letter, or if they want a shout out, they get a shout out, you know, that kind of thing. He didn't ask for a shout out in the letter, I just automatically gave one because, you know. I'm gonna grab a glass of water and leave you with it, tubes. It'd be easier to have the bread I need for that hamburger recipe up and ready to go before I make the burger. So I'm gonna need to charge up my phone before I do that cooking video. Asperger's, I farted. because the computer was a little too close to the edge of the desk for my comfort. Yeah. And who gives a flying rat's ass burgers if you're going through a dry spell? Because if you wallow in the depression of not being able to get any, it's just going to consume you, and you're going to become way more depressed about the issue. Pardon the pun. But you can take that time to focus on your hobbies and better yourself as a person. And if you're meant to find somebody, it'll happen when you least expect it. But anyways, tubes, thanks for watching my cigar review. And if you like the tobacco reviews, subscribe for more. Keep it real, tubes, and I'll catch you cool cobras on the flip side. Stay tuned for those awesome cooking videos.